Yeah, people, I'm back. And we're doing the Maxine, the Jesseline Max, Glycine, whatever you call it, Glizzy, Maxine, audio. But I did do, half, no, not half. This is 6 hour audio, obviously. I actually did run about 40 minutes on my Remember Me podcast audio on Spotify. So I was like, you know what? I promised YouTube that I was going to give us some of this audio. We was going to break down this audio. And I'm not going to sit here for 6 hours, so I might just break it up in little bits. And, as we go over the Remember Me podcast video of the audio, maybe we're still going to keep things different, keep things fresh, but obviously familiar. And with that being said, hopefully you are enjoying your day, with your travels as you traverse through the streets, or maybe you sitting in, and wherever really, you catch me, you may have just woken up in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night. I don't know what's your schedule. I was up very early for whatever fucking reason. So I'll probably get into that in another show. But we're going to start off the audio, at 40 minutes in, because I'll break it down for you where they were at before we do this. So they talk about Maxwell's, trips back and forth from England to America. As she was trying to build herself up. I don't know what the hell. She was looking to travel the world, and then she was young and impressionable, but she was struggling. She didn't have any money for some reason, even though her family is rich. And we'll get into it anyway. So she gets involved with Epstein through somebody, through another friend, mutuals. And then it seems like Epstein was slowly grooming her, to carry out different business things and building trust factors, not issues. And, actually getting her to play like a general manager's role, as she said. I felt like a general manager, I had to deal with so many technical things and challenging things, and it seemed to be building this woman up, as somebody that he could rely on, somebody that he could trust, and maybe even have a good time, because they were talking about friends with benefits. But she said she couldn't have sexual intercourse with Epstein because the fact that he had a bad heart, he had several girlfriends, she didn't take this man sexually seriously. So she keeps implying that they're friends with benefits, and that they question a lot of stuff about her, what their relationship was. As she clarified on several occasions, there's, things that we couldn't do because of sexual things. So now I'm thinking, I didn't get to it in the show, I might as well say it here, we're keeping it fresh. I didn't talk about this on the other show. She may have been, making this man wear a chastity belt, wearing this man's ass out with a dildo the size of Uncle Bobby's arm, just busting this man's asshole wide open, in a hotel room somewhere in, the former Arabian-owned space there. It's a wacky story anyway. They'll probably talk about it. It's not that important. It's just the way that they met, the development of their, relationship, and, how she started getting paid $25,000 a year to do trips, travels, hotel stays. And then the guy was like, from the DOJ and the FBI and everything, was like, oh, that's not enough money to live, off of. So was he taking care of you, or did you have money of your own? And they went into her father, and then she went into saying that he was a, what was it that she called him? There's a specific word she used for it. She was like, oh, he came from nothing. He was born poor. He was homeless. He had no sneakers. And somehow this man turned that story around, though. Got the hustle on. Got the money, got the power, got the respect, apparently. But she went to say they didn't care about the money. Even though he got extravagant things and he got a lot of money, he owned several businesses, that he never gave the money to the kids, and that he threw the money away, really, or kept it locked into the business, and then nobody from the family was getting this money. I don't know. Like she said that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't getting any. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, people. But it was interesting a little bit as the developing story. The thing is, though, sometimes this audio isn't the most clearest of quality because this woman talks like she has a muffle mouth, a mouthful of muffs. And, they're still going into her knowledge of plane flight, a flight, and who was on the plane. They're like, oh, we don't need everybody that was on the plane at the time. And I believe she's somewhere within the 2001 to 2009 range of time framing right now. And she was looking to, start breaking down some stuff. She did talk about Lee Fitting and Bill Clinton being on the plane. Those were the two names she dropped. I don't know if she dropped any other names that I couldn't make out because, again, this woman talks like she has a mouthful of marbles. Am I guilty of that? Are you getting the sound quality? Are you getting the visuals? We're using the phone, the residual, and the digital, and the zooming lenses. Are we doing it? Are we doing it right? Well, anyway, I want to start off in this point of view of the audio because I don't want to, have this same show. Because if I'm doing the same thing on both of these shows, then what am I even doing here, people? Why would I even be doing this? But again, I do have my catch lines. I do have my punch lines. Things that I would overrun. But because they were dealing with things that I'm looking to produce. Things that I'm looking to bring out. As I'm looking to break out. And hopefully, maybe, some of you other content creators out there, could, do the same thing as we all support each other here. I'm definitely a big supporter of other people doing their jobs. And, obviously, so far, we are making huge connections. And obviously, I give props to everybody out there. Continue your creative journeys over here. I want you all to be superstars. I want you to all have that successful dream and get that 3% that we all looking to make it, because they say that there's only 3% chance for people to make it online with a successful run here, with that notoriety. And I'm looking to definitely bring, not just to me, not just to the show. Maybe I can fix things up here. But maybe we can even go so far as to, up the productions here and bring more spotlight to other creators and maybe even tell their stories. Because I would love to get, some crafty, creative backstory for somebody that struggled and still turned it all around. Like me, I'm still learning to turn things around. They say you gotta be like Jesus and turn the other cheek, and then turn the other cheek. But no matter what you do, don't ever turn the other cheeks, because then you're not really doing what Jesus practiced. I don't think so. But with that being said, I want to get to the audio. And I want to thank everybody for having a great time, having a great day, for keeping the community fresh. And, hopefully I'm keeping the content fresh as I'm looking to bring you different areas of entertainment. I don't care if people don't want me drawing. I don't care if people don't want me doing runoffs. I don't care if they don't want to see the life of two Shih Tzus. I don't give a shit. I embody the Shia LaBeouf rant, people. Go back to one of my old rants over there, and then go check out Spotify and the Remember Me podcast. As it's looking to take off, and we're nearly 50 episodes in for that first run of 100, as I'm looking to take these shows, these videos, into the first 100. Acknowledge Uncle Bobby Years. I had to lean back a little bit so you can get the full effect of this whole moment here. But again, let me get to the audio. I think that's what you really want. You want to hear this lady's muffled marble mouth.
All bad. Air conditioning was gone. I saw the air conditioning gone.
She's talking about the air conditioning because, again, even though the summer's almost over, they say it's going to end this weekend. Things are still heating up, people.
Carrier, whatever,
When did Mr. Epstein purchase the island?
I want to say 96 or 97.
Coffee.
Something like that.
Okay, so we're going to come back and spend
So
more
he
time on
purchased the island in 96 and 97, she says. They want to go back to that.
As well, but just so we can finish this. So in 2009, you ended the relationship with Ted?
That's 2010.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was 10.
Okay. So in that time period, what happens next with, as far as your relationship with Mr. Epstein?
I don't have one.
You don't have one of him, like, you don't see him, or it's just a different relationship?
I did see, I maybe saw him once or twice, maybe even 3 times. I certainly went to his house once, for sure. Maybe twice. But I was not seeing him. The only time that I was in touch with him was when the things happened, like...
I felt dirty hearing this lady talk about touching Epstein's cock.
Or when the CBRA case was filed and there was a lot of rubbish that went out, because I needed information. Because I didn't know anything about what was happening, and I needed to start.
You buy that?
8 times, I was not make it sound like...
She said she wasn't aware of anything at the time.
And then to have answers so that I had an ability to defend myself, that sort of thing. I'm not
So
talking
when does that relationship change? So you're working, you talked about the physical relationship.
All right, I'm gonna stop this for a second because I was having an idea. She said that she was traveling around with all these people and flying around, going to his island, and she wasn't aware originally of what was going on. She wasn't in the loop. But she was very intimate with this man. And she'll tell you that this man had heart problems and that she wasn't sexually intimate with this man. But then what is her version of sexual intercourse? You know, she could have been jacking this man's cock. She could have been, allowing Jeffrey Epstein to taste her duck lip taco. Yeah. Delicious. I don't think so, but maybe he thought it was. I'm sure he did. Or maybe he wasn't even doing that, and maybe he was just getting pounded by Clinton or pounding Clinton. Maybe she was like, oh, he had a heart problem. He couldn't get into this whole Maxwell's, duck lip taco. But somehow his heart worked really well, and his penis worked even better. Inside of this man, Billy Clinton, as he's asserting himself in this man. You want to play a saxophone, Billy Clinton? I got a sax for you to play, Billy boy. What's up with you?
Stop.
No wonder your wife was angry.
For him or with him, managing his properties and serving as like a general manager.
No wonder there was so many weird paintings.
With another individual, with Ted, from 2003 till 2009 or 10.
So is there a cuckold relationship happening with these two? I don't know.
Where you're no longer acting as a general manager.
I wanted to have a full break when I started dating Ted, and he was clever. I suppose it would be true to say that I sort of viewed Mr. Epstein at that point as sort of family, if you will, like someone I could rely on. And
see, it sounds like she built up a rapport, trust, somebody that she could rely. Somebody that he could rely on.
That had happened in my life. I thought that it was, and I saw how he was with other people like Eva, who seemed to be very comfortable in saying that. I thought this would be. And he always said I was like family, so... There
was other people involved, obviously. She said that he had several other, relationships and girlfriends or whatever.
He was generous with me. He let me use the pennies, which was very generous. He would check in with my mum. Things that were meaningful to me in that time. And then, it may still not have worked, but... His mother, Paula,
Mama Epstein,
had been in a very serious car
crash. Jeffrey Epstein, get over here now.
She had become sort of
Stop sexually assaulting the sofas with J.D. Vance.
I could look after her the way that I would have.
Was she looking after the paintings or the paint? I don't get what she's saying with this marble mouse.
So I became very close to his mother. And she had been in a car crash, and in 2004... So
now she's a home health aide over here. This woman plays many roles apparently in Jeffrey Epstein's life.
And Epstein called me and asked me if I could look after her. By looking after her,
I need you to look after Mama Epstein now.
Organizing her doctors.
She's priorities.
Making sure she had new clothes, making sure her house was clean.
Where was she?
She lived in in a retirement establishment in
No, folks, home.
outside of it's West Palm.
West Palm.
I was going to say something like the Golden Girls, but it's not called that. I just don't remember.
The Golden Girls. She might have been a Blanche.
It was a
Or does she look like a Rose?
I don't know. We've been going for maybe about an hour now. Is this a good time?
Yeah. So we'll take a break.
They want a break over here. They want to get a sandwich. You know, and while you have a break, maybe you could get the Uncle Bobby sandwich out there. We're going to go global here with the sandwich.
So we're continuing the doctor interview with Miss Maxwell. The time is 11:07 a.m. on Thursday, July 24th.
All right.
Oh, this wasn't too long ago, a month ago. It's a little over.
Stop. So you have basically a break. Well, not a break. That's the wrong word. But your relationship with Mr. Maxwell, professional and other changes.
You know, sometimes you got to keep this hair very, very tainted.
Over the time that I stay with Ted, the more time I'm with Ted, the more distance I have with him. And then when the arrest, well, let's go back, when whatever happened in 2005 and he became arrested in 2000.
So when he's charged and arrested in what we'll call the Florida investigations, that's what you're talking about.
They have the Florida investigations, Ted. I don't know who that
I would
is.
not been,
Do you know?
well,
Well, were you part of that investigation?
absolutely
Did law enforcement ever talk to you as
No.
part of that? Did you, like, the feds never talked to you? The
No.
FBI never talked to you?
no.
Did you
I
ever
didn't even
snitch?
receive a phone call.
Did you, so you didn't receive a
I should
subpoena?
put this out. I don't want to burn my hair.
Did state law enforcement ever reach out to you?
No.
As far as you know, did the government, either state or federal, subpoena your bank records or subpoena anything from your financial life during that time, that time?
Not as far as I'm aware. Now, if they did, I don't know it, and I have no idea about that. To be honest, I'm not aware of it, and I would say no. But maybe you guys do things.
Obviously, they were hiding the finances from people so that they didn't get this stuff taken away. Where did you get this money
Something
from?
was happening before then.
The first thing I knew was he had told me he was deciding to redecorate the house in Palm Beach.
She tends to be doing a lot of stuff for him like that, taking care of a lot of redecorations, taking care of his personal businesses, his mother, and contracts,
You were no
construction.
longer kind of acting as his general manager.
No, I was.
Now she's moving away from general managing this man's behaviors. Well, she's still around, she says.
Gone. I was with Ted. I was traveling. I wasn't daily. If you'd asked me where he was at any given time, I'm not sure I would have known.
Who the fuck is Teddy?
I mean, it was.
Who's her teddy
felt
bear?
Like, I suppose the relationship moved into sort of like a long-term friend, family. You know, like I felt he had with
That
you,
sounds
someone else.
really wrong.
So-
You went
so
from
he says
fucking this
he was
man
going
to
to
playing with his cock to being
redecorate.
family. What's
He-
happening
He
here?
asked me specifically
The fuck
which
is happening?
decorator he thinks he should use, because I had a lot of contacts with decorators, and he was not very good with people. He was useless at
I needed to smoke for this because I had to do another show of this.
I'm not. So, anyways, I recommended, I can't be 100% sure because it's a long time, but I think I recommended Mark Zeff at that time.
Who?
Mark Zeff.
Okay.
Mark Zeff, not
And,
Zuckerberg. You son of a
I don't
bitch.
know why. I don't remember. That's all lost in time. But anyway, at some point, I think his mother had died now. I can't remember the timing of all of that either.
Me neither. I'm confused with this woman's
I
talking.
ended up in Palm Beach, and he had asked me to come and look at the swatches or whatever he was doing, because they had laid it all out over the house and various things, and I think he'd asked for my opinion. That's my memory of this.
She may have,
It may also
cognitive
be that
decline.
Ted and I were going to Palm Beach because Ted had a golf match or something. There was a reason I was in Palm Beach. It wasn't solely. Maybe that's not true either. I don't know.
She doesn't know because she's lying, you know.
Doesn't, you know.
She tends to, embellish these stories. I'm sure she's trying to find ways around revealing certain seedy details. I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's doing. She's trying to make herself seem like a victim, maybe, like a Johnny Laurinaitis.
And I feel that when you get the proof of everything, you're going to see that I was a victim of Vince McMahon and his sexual exploitations.
Vincey baby, stop trying to insert dildos named after Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar inside of people, and then getting this man repeatedly, taken off of TV because of the Janelle Grant's scheme over there. I'm looking to swat the lies away. These goddamn liars. Because I don't fully buy the story so far that she's saying, or is she keeping it 100? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to end this show right now, this part 1 of the audio, because again, I'm trying to just keep these audios different. And the video's different from my audios, because there's no reason for me to just, repeat the same stuff, and you could just follow me throughout my journey over here as I cross-platform these shows, and maybe you'll get everything that you want out of it, all the juicy details. And when we talk about swatting the lies away, where did I put this thing? Slapping these fucking lies and these liars. Sometimes you have to worry about these flies now. They're talking about these flies. I don't know where they came from exactly. They talked about it. We did the show, a little snippet. And, they're talking about these parasites that they can leave in you, flesh-eating bacteria now, a parasite. So sometimes you might want to keep one of these bad boys around and just slap one of these fuckers around and, electrify the shit out of them and shock them. And hopefully, I'm going to continue to be the most electrifying man in podcasting entertainment. And hopefully you're going to be here, for the next part of the audio. And, with that being said, I'm going to get ready to go. But I wanted to give a shout out to all the creators out there doing their thing. And, my former co-host over there, at Blazler85. And that's at Blazler85, the @ symbol. And go check her out. She's doing all of these reviews, wrestling, and Funko Pops too. Because, again, she's, like me, she's trying to get them Funko Pops popping again. And we talk about all that, Funko Pops. You should fuck with your boy. We're looking to bring the early adult time Funko Pops. And maybe you can help me do that. But don't steal my idea, because I swear to you, I would fucking sue you. I would train these fucking Tesla bots to go up into the Funko Pop manufacturing situation, or even your headquarters. And then train them to swing your buggy with bodies all around. On, Uncle Bobby's time here. And with that being said, I guess we're done unaliving the clock together as time ticks away, but I don't have 6 hours to sit and do this whole fucking thing right now, because, I got other things I want to do. I got other responsibilities. I have the dogs. I got Dr. Z. I got the cross-platform, this whole thing. So, with that being said, people, even if your Ancestry.com says I am not your uncle, I am your uncle, people. And for the morning, afternoon, or whenever we catch you, forget about it.